Hi, I'm Gejo. I am a mentor at Career Launch at LST. I'm very happy to have this young boy with me. He's Aarohi. He's got All India rank 4 in AILET for the NLU Delhi. Then he got All India rank 2 in Maharashtra CET. And I think he did very well in symbiosis. I think it's your 132 was your score out of 150. And the CLAT results is not a doubt. You're very hopeful that also can do well.
Yes.
So how are you feeling now?
Delighted. And I didn't expect to do so well, but definitely career launcher and friends and faculty and mentors, everyone around me has really pushed me through. So I'm just happy and grateful for what I've got.
Okay, so let me start by asking, why did you decide you want to do law?
So I've always been inclined towards understanding how society functions, and law to me is what codifies society, it's what brings us together. So it seemed quite natural for me to go into law as a profession because it would really drive me towards understanding where and how we as a society, as a group of individuals come together, and how laws are framed, and how governance operates, and why and how we do the things we do, and the rules we follow, the services we get, stuff that affects us at a very basic level. That's how law impacts our lives.
Which standard was it? Was it like 8, 9, 10, 11, 12?
Around 8th grade.
Okay. So your grandfather is a lawyer?
Yes. Not a practicing lawyer.
And you will be a practicing lawyer? Oh,
yes.
That's a plan. Okay. So what was your, how competitive is it according to get to clear these exams and stuff?
Extremely competitive.
Yeah.
Because every rank, it's just that moves the decimal scores and just the number of people giving it, and the seats are so few, so it's quite competitive to get to the top, I feel.
Which is also the reason as to why you kind of prepared for all exams to college.
Yes, definitely. Because you can't be sure of any single thing, so it's better to have all your options open.
And when you were preparing for the exams, what do you think? If you pick the top 3 things that you think it's important? Let's say that if someone else is listening who's an aspirant for next year or year after that, what would be the 2 or 3 things that you would want them to do for sure?
Most important, I felt, was staying calm during the paper. Nothing beats keeping your cool presence of mind during the paper, because ultimately it's all strategy. Everyone's prepared to a certain level, but the person who does better is the one who retains what they've done and they know how to apply it during the paper. You can't afford to get hung up for questions, and that's a habit you have to get rid of. That's what I personally found the hardest, because we come from a school background where you attempt everything even if you don't know it, because ultimately you need the marks.
Right.
This is an exam where you can't afford to do that. So that's a mentality you have to get rid of. I think it's also very important to be honest with yourself. You have to know what you can do, what you can't do. So you have to be, at some point you can't really learn everything there is, because the syllabus to that extent is infinite. So you have to be selective and I think wise in what you do, because you have to select your questions well, you have to select what you want to study well, because what you do, you have to know that extremely well at the end. You have to know it completely, there's no excuse.
So you're basically saying, know yourself, your strengths,
yes,
your weakness.
absolutely.
Prepare according to that, work around it,
Yes.
prepare accordingly and apply that in the test.
Yes.
During the preparation process, what do you think? For example, you have to take tests, you have to study for various things. Tell me, how many tests did you take?
Close to 70, between 65 and 70, I would say.
65 to 70, that's a lot.
That is, but I know people who have gone even further. They've taken close to 80 tests, some may be closer to 60. So but it's by no means the largest number.
Yeah, okay, so the 70 tests you've taken, and what has been your score in the beginning? So how has been the journey in terms of...
So my first test, because I had absolutely no idea in what order to attempt the sections, and in general I wasn't really preparing at that time, I scored a 90, which I think was a fair reflection of how far I was at that time. Slowly it went up over tests 5 to 20 to between 110 and 120.
This would be which month, how many months before the CLAT?
So my first test was, I think, September. This is around, I'm at the 110 to 120 phase between October and Jan.
So that's like just about what, 5 months before?
5 to 6 months before CLAT.
And which will mean in the CLAT would have attempted. How many did you attempt in this CLAT?
This paper I attempted 197. 196, 197.
197 out of 200, and these are all, you're sure of these attempts or risks?
No, I've taken a few risks, but I think the risks won't cross 7 to 8 questions total.
So at this point in time, the CLAT results are not out, but I'm sure that, given the fact that you've done well, in other exams you will do well in CLAT as well. So
I hope.
Yeah, I'm sure that you will do well. You'll probably have one more interview as two. I don't have them. But the point I want to ask you is that you were at 115 final before the CLAT, and what was the problem maybe, and what did you do? How did you realize it? What did you do?
I think taking more tests more tests and GK, because GK was a complete blank for me at this stage. So I think CL material is very comprehensive, and the only reason I was where I was in GK was because I had never prepared it. The moment I started referring to CL materials after my boards, I could see it shooting up right before my eyes, because every single month-an or month's daily updates that I read, I'd cross like 5-10 marks more.
So I think we had a conversation around,
Yes.
What was when?
Feb, because it was during my boards.
During your boards, and
It was Feb early March.
and when I saw at that point in time, it was very clear.
Yeah, because I was on 20 in GK and sir said I have to get 40. So I didn't quite get 40, but yes, I almost doubled my scores.
So how many hours did you study after that?
After my boards, the day my boards ended, I started studying close to 10 to 12 hours a day.
And this 10 to 12 hours, what did you study max?
The days I took a mock, that's 2 hours plus 1 hour analysis gone. So, and the days I didn't, I had like the entire 10 to 12 hours. So, I think 80% of the time is GK.
Let's say 10 hours a day. So, I think that probably your advice to someone else would be that probably start GK early.
Start GK early, definitely, it'll help. But on the other hand, you have to understand what works for you.
Right.
What works for me is at the end, I don't mind studying 10 hours of GK a day at the end, because I know I'll be able to keep it up as long as I've done it not too long ago.
So, alright, so in your case, you had other areas sorted.
Yes.
Okay, you knew that.
Yes, by and large.
By and large, they are completely sorted, I think.
Yes.
You're already peaking in all the other areas, and you
Pretty much.
So your thing is that therefore the mock test kind of helps.
Mocks definitely help also, because there's such a large sample size of students who are taking the test.
Right.
So the rank you get in the mock is actually reasonably predictive, and it's very accurate, because I guess the number of people who give a mock is very important, because the more there are, the better chances you have of knowing how well you do in the actual paper.
Right.
So I think CL has a pretty big, large number of students.
Take CL-LST Mumbai, that's what he's saying. And who's been your mentor? How did your parents, your teachers, and how did they play a role? So specifically, you can think of anything, any incident?
So my parents, most of them, I really can't thank them enough, because it doesn't matter how much I score, they always tell me I have to get more marks, and there's not been a CL mock yet where I've scored AIR 1.
Okay.
So that really hurts them, because they keep asking, because they don't care what my percentile is, what my score is, nothing. They just ask me, are there people who've done better than you? And I always say yes, so they say why.
How many used to be there better than you?
In fact, I haven't done all that well in most CL mocks. My rank has never crossed 20 to 15.
Oh, so this is like how, I think that the initial thing that you said, that how you kept your calm doing exams.
Yes, because ultimately there's a large number of people who will get say 150, 160 in one mock, and then the next mock they go back to their standard, which is 100, 120. Because every mock ultimately is just that one day, right?
Right.
So you can't afford to completely rethink your strategy on the basis of one mock unless it's really catastrophic. So it's more important to just stay consistent, because...
So the one is your parents pushing to get that.
And CL faculty, they're always there. Whenever I send anyone a message, I get a response within the hour. Samrat sir, Namrata ma'am, Palash sir, they're all so helpful. And at times I have very silly doubts, but they don't mind solving those.
Cool.
So that's great. So initially I was a little apprehensive, but then later on I realized you can actually ask them about anything.
I think my sense is that you should treat your teachers like Uber.
Yes, I have.
And at the end of the day, that's what it is. That the teacher trying to take individual attention to each. I think that should be that. You just take.
I sent messages at like 2:30 in the night and got a response by 3.
Okay.
So that's very helpful.
Alright.
Without that, I don't think I would have gotten where I have, because there's no point where I felt stuck at a particular concept, because immediately I could get a solution for that, or some clarity about it. So that helps. I could always keep moving further.
Very good. And so you already have an NLU Delhi
Yes.
in hand, and so if you get to Bangalore, you're going to Bangalore. Is that
Leaning towards it, yes, probably.
And then rest of them you'll pay a ticket call.
Yeah, that's true.
And since let's hope that you'll be in the position to take the tough decision between two of the best schools.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't really know about Bangalore yet, so
I don't really know about Bangalore yet, so
we just hope.
let's be hopeful about that. And wonderful. Any last word you have for aspirants or anything that?
Yes, so I think more important than anything else is not freaking out in the middle of the paper. That is the single most important thing I can possibly think of, because the moment you freak out in the paper, you have very little time, so you can't really afford to waste any of it. That one question can really ruin your entire 2 years of prep.
Obviously under pressure, you're going to it, let me not freak out. How do you keep calm? I think
Just think about how everyone giving the paper is to a large extent the same as you, so what confuses you will confuse everyone else too.
Right.
So you just have to remember you're not special, and everyone else.
You're basically saying that if I can't answer this question, nobody can.
Yeah, and to some level, it may not be true, but you have to convince yourself of that.
Correct.
What's more important than what's true is actually what you accept to be true. So as long as you accept that this shouldn't affect me, it won't affect you. And ultimately, the person who can do that is going to do better than everyone else when it counts. Because if you can do that much, you're going to do well in every paper. Not just the one paper where you got 160 and your friend got 122. Because eventually, your scores will change. Unless this level of clarity comes in where you can do better than everyone else, because you accept that they're not any better than you are.
Very good. So, all the best, man.
Thank you, sir.
And all the very best. Have a wonderful 5-year journey, and
Yes.
we'll hopefully meet again with more
Definitely.
wonderful news.
Definitely.
Thanks.
Thank you, sir.
Bye from our side. Thank you.